What's going on, everyone? It's your friendly neighborhood gamer PTK Blam back, dropping another weekly video outside of the podcast. By the way, how is everybody feeling today, man? It is Wednesday. We are back with another awesome video, a bunch of cool content coming up on the channel, man. Make sure before we dive in here, you subscribe, stay locked here on the channel for awesome content. If you enjoy these other videos outside of the podcast, let me know down in the comment section. Also hit that little notification bell, that way you're notified when I drop this standalone content, man. But appreciate you guys. Let's go ahead and dive in. So today, as you can see by the thumbnail, we are talking a little bit about this WB Games info news that we got recently. So we'll just start from the beginning. Last year, I can't remember exactly the month, but we heard, AT&T was selling off WB Games. They got extremely excited. It was one of the biggest things that happened during the summertime, and a lot of us, the speculation town went crazy. The rumor mill started going in overdrive once we got that news, and then nothing happened. AT&T decided to pull out. They didn't want to sell WB Games, and we all forgot about it. Now there's been a rumor, not necessarily a rumor, but there's some information that AT&T is selling off a portion which includes WB Games, and they're merging with like Discovery, and they're doing some different things in that realm, which means WB Games may possibly be up for sale again. So let's dive right into that. Now, before we start, I do want to make sure, because a lot of people think WB Games, and they don't really know the type of IPs and talent that WB Games actually have. So I'm putting a graphic here up on the screen just so you guys forget the type of the dev studios and the talent that's actually involved. And I'm also going to do a quick rundown here of some of the IPs that these studios actually make. So we got Nether, goes without saying, the makers of MK. We don't need to say anything else. Avalanche, makers of Rage 2, Just Cause, phenomenal AAA games, action adventure games, just fun shoot 'em up games, high quality stuff. Rocksteady, Batman, don't need to say anything else. Telltale, the makers of the Walking Dead games, as well as some of the other Wolf Among Us games as well. And then Monolith, they also make Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor, fantastic game. That Nemesis system is chef's kiss. And then Fear as well, which is another OG game. If you're not as old, it was back on the 360 and OG Xbox. Fear was an amazing sci-fi thriller, scary game, but it was awesome, super fun and awesome. So that's just a tip of the iceberg. There's other studios, there's other franchises as well, but I wanted to start there because that's the most important thing about this. Every single company, as far as Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo, can benefit if this actually happens. And we've always thrown out some ideas on who would go with who. One thing I do want to mention that nobody's really talking about is the actual franchises themselves, as far as the licenses. Now, we don't know whether or not the licenses will come along. If AT&T decides to keep the licenses or Discovery tries to keep the licenses, that may hinder things, and you may get a studio that has to make a brand new game. Just depends. Every situation is different, but that's one thing I wanted to highlight as well before we get into the fantasy part of this. The fantasy part of this and the fun part is actually who's going where and who's going to get what. So we're going to play, like I said, a little fantasy baseball. Now, I went down the line and talked about the type of talent and IPs these studios have. To be frank, every single one of the big three would benefit from having any of this talent. That's how awesome that these studios are. Now, there's a couple preferences. In my opinion, Nether is the crown jewel of the bunch. Some people would argue Rocksteady because of the Batman IP. I do agree to a point, but Mortal Kombat is huge. It is one of the premier fighting games. It has a history. It's up on that Mount Rushmore of fighting games. It gets better every year. The quality of the game gets better. On top of why I think they're a great fit specifically for Xbox. Xbox has a little game called Killer Instinct that doesn't have anybody to make it right now. So Nether would take that IP. It would be a dream matchup, in my opinion. Just a match made in heaven, that Nether would get the Killer Instinct IP and make a brand new Killer Instinct. I think that would be amazing. But ultimately, like I said, all of these different studios are extremely talented. Sony would greatly benefit. Like Rocksteady, they make the type of games that Sony make as well. Monolith with their Nemesis system and the Shadow of War and everything that they're doing, they make games that benefit everybody. So it's just cool to see that this is coming back around. Though, is it actually going to happen? That remains to be seen. And I want to put that in there as well too, because we don't actually know at this point if anything's going to happen. It's kind of gone quiet since the news broke, so who knows? But anything happens in this gaming ecosystem, 1 minute you hear about something, and then 2, 3, 4, 5 months later, something's actually happening. So we'll have to play a waiting game and actually see if this happens. But once again, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about this, the possibilities coming out of this actual deal if it actually happens. So let me know, drop a comment down below, hit the like on the button if you enjoy this type of content. I want to make more videos. I want to do them a bit more frequently because you guys are awesome and these videos do well and you guys have fun. So, and I have fun as well. But I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I'll see you guys this Saturday. Don't forget the Shop Podcast is live 6 p.m. AZ time this Saturday. So tune in. We always bring in a special guest. So peace out, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. I will talk to you guys soon.